Hello, everyone.
How are you doing, Eric?
Felipe, I'm great, man. How are you doing?
Doing good as well. Carnival in Brazil, so some days of holidays.
Yeah. Although I feel that you're not the kind of person who likes Carnival too much, right?
Well, it depends. I do it like once every 4 years, maybe, and then I rest for the next 3 years. It's a bit too chaotic for me.
You see that you're resting in the jungle, away from the craziness of the parades.
That's it. If you pay attention, maybe you'll see some hummingbirds in the background. So,
But tell me, what's this craziness happening in the market? You know, I find that things are getting so unpredictable. All people trying to predict what's going to happen, they're failing over and over again. This cycle seems to be so atypical, so different from everything else that I experienced in crypto before.
You know that you always talk to me about your ideas of sense making and how sense making is failing. And I always found it so interesting, but it does feel like this cycle has a lot to do with that, in the sense that we don't really understand what's going on. So even like you see, there was a lot of chaos in the Ethereum Foundation and a lot of like public criticism of it, and they did this transition, and even like the pieces and bits that they communicated were being interpreted in like all over the place in every single different way. I do like the changes, by the way. I think they went on the right direction, but it was confusing. Same thing with like Trump announcement this past couple days about a crypto reserve that people don't know if it's a stockpile, if it's a reserve, and then he named a few like altcoins and didn't name Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then they sent another tweet. It's like everyone's so confused, and they don't even know like, right? Can he do it? Does he need Congress approval? It feels like it's crazy.
It's crazy, and it's just not only crypto, right? It looks like we are swinging between euphoria and despair in many domains all the time. We have positive news one day, then weird news the next day. It's very, very hard to know what's going on, where we are going. I think it's this in all sectors, not only crypto.
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes I feel like we changed like content for speed, which is not a new insight, right? But I'm starting to see the ripple effects of it, in the sense that like people feel the need to tell the news quickly without the context behind, without a clear explanation of what's happening. So Trump wants to do a crypto reserve, then media rushes to announce it or to leak it without the proper context. So we're all trying to interpret it on like our way, and it's complicated.
Yeah, and just to wrap it up, I think these floods of news and all this craziness happening in social media without a layer for sense making is making reality very, very difficult to grasp in general. And that's where I think that blockchain will have a role to play in the future in trying to organize this chaos, right? If you can use decentralized systems to try to make sense of reality, I think it's a very good use of Web3.
Yeah, blockchain is a tool for human coordination, right? And finding out what's true and what's reliable information, what's trustworthy. That's in the end a problem of governance and human coordination. So I
Yeah,
really
for
do
sure.
feel like it's a perfect fit.
But anyway, I think we have some positive news. Lots of good things are happening in the last weeks in Cartesi, right? There are things that many things we can't control. Some things we can control, and the things that we can control, we can share the positive vibes, the positive news that are happening here. So there's a bunch of things like L2B researchers recognizing that Cartesi's Dave is the best fraud-proof algorithm for optimistic rollups. I think that's great news, great recognition for Cartesi, meaning that Cartesi is actually having on the way to have the most secure, the most decentralized rollup infrastructure. We have news on, we just came out of an experiment week that had amazing results. We could experience how simple it is to develop on Cartesi. Great kudos to everyone that was involved developing the infrastructure, also the documentation tutorials. Apparently, it became very easy for developers to get into, development, bootstrapping their apps very easily without the hand holding of technical team members, right? We have an excellent documentation, even recognized by our partners in the ecosystem. Our docs SDK, they are very nice, very mature. What else, Felipe? Many good things. Huh?
Yeah, I think you made a very good summary, and those are all like great achievements. And in a sense, there are things that we've been working towards since the beginning to get recognition, to show people the potential of our tech. Because in the beginning, the dev journey was quite complicated, right? You could only create a Cartesi application if you were either super tapped in with the ecosystem, or if you were like a hacker powerful enough to read source code and then figure out how to use from source code. And we made such good stride in documentation and tutorials and so on. And the core pieces of all the Cartesi products, so the Cartesi machine, the CLI, they are all in such a good spot that now creating a rollups application or creating a coprocessor application, they're all like very much approachable, which
Yeah.
is a huge source of pride, right?
Which makes me very very optimistic and excited, right? Because I think our thesis that we had at the beginning of this project is starting to be confirmed and become reality. Like we are having a very nice execution environment, great runtime environment for people to develop applications very easily that are not only backward compatible but also forward compatible, right? So people in the experiment week, they were able to come up with like porting LLMs that are new into Cartesi, like Ollama, like even DeepSeek. So that shows how easy it is to port existing software, mainstream software, into Cartesi, and I think that's the big breakthrough here. So
Yeah.
I believe that we're sticking to fundamentals, right? And these are getting very mature, very strong, very ready to be used.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of the fact that we're completing every challenge that we set for ourselves, successfully completing everything that we set out to do, and that we're like, because of doing everything right from the beginning, we are future compatible, right? And being future compatible is very hard to overstate, right? The fact that you can just port LLM that came out in the market in a few hours, right? Imagine what's going to come out next week or next month, and that's going to be compatible with Cartesi. So it's an insane superpower to be forward compatible, to be future compatible. It's something that makes me like quite confident in the fundamental need that the industry has for Cartesi.
Yeah, and another thing that I'm becoming more and more excited about is the interface between AI and blockchain and the future unfolding of this, right? Because right now there are lots of agents interacting with blockchain wallets, and so on, but we still don't have verifiable AI, right? And if we want to integrate AI into Web3, let's say DeFi or governance systems, DAO systems, um, uh, you would expect that your AI or whatever your agent that you're using, it should have the same security guarantees and neutrality that the rest of the application has, right? Otherwise, you're compromising the entirety of your application if you have this, a central point of failure. So I think I'm getting very excited with the idea that this can be a huge vector for adoption for Cartesi, because if you take away Linux, if you don't have a standard mainstream environment that you can run mainstream software, it's very hard to port AI, which makes the Cartesi machine uniquely suitable for this kind of task. What do you think of this?
Yeah, so we said a little bit earlier in our conversation that blockchain is a great tool for human coordination. And it's totally clear to me that blockchain is also a great tool for AI coordination, right? So these agents and AI beings communicating with each other, exchanging value, participating in a market-based economy. And I like to say that all execution environments, all blockchain VMs, they have two problems to be able to generate verifiable AI. They have a scalability problem and a compatibility problem. And the compatibility problem is by far the hardest one. At Cartesi, we only have one problem. We don't have a compatibility problem because of these properties that we're talking about. We do have a scalability problem, but a scalability problem, first of all, is much smaller than the scalability problem that these other projects have, because we have focused on complex computations from the beginning. And this scalability problem is something that naturally gets solved, right? I mean, not naturally, with a lot of hard work, but the AI models, there's a huge pressure for them to run faster, just because, well, the world's going to be powered by them. So they improve over time. The Cartesian machine improves over time. The computational capacity in general improves over time. So it's a solvable problem in the future. So I think Cartesi is the perfect place to be the backbone of this. I don't like the word revolution, but of this future-powered AI.
Yeah, and that not to mention other optimizations that can be done in Cartesi itself to make these problems more tractable by Cartesi, right? Like, for instance, offloading matrix multiplication operations to be done on bare metal in a way that can be verifiable and disputable through arbitration. That is there's an active area of research. So I think not only AI will get more and more efficient, but Cartesi will also get more and more efficient, and the future is quite promising when you see those two fronts evolving, right?
It feels like, think of AI 2 years ago, how the state of AI 2 years ago, and think of the state of Cartesi 2 years ago. In 2025, we were able to run DeepSeek on Cartesi, right? It's slow, yes, it's slow. It's expensive, it's expensive, but it runs. What will happen 2 years from now, right? If you follow the trajectories of both AI and Cartesi, I mean, it's very hard to predict.
Now I see there are people writing about decentralized AI. I think EigenLayer released an article 1 or 2 weeks ago about it, and their approach is because people are imagining ways to have deterministic AI, so they think about even having standard hardware to make sure that their software runs in a reproducible way across different nodes, but then that would require them to have the same hardware in different nodes, right? So that's it. Well, I think that's a subpar solution, because that kind of hurts decentralization. What we want is to allow people to be able to verify stuff ultimately with their laptops, right? And even to fight nation states with their laptops. So the scenario that I imagine for Cartesi and AI and other applications that are more processing demanding, right, is that we'll be able to provide a level of security and decentralization that is as good as the best fraud-proof algorithm in the market, right? So I think all of these makes the future quite interesting for Cartesi. So I'm super excited about this. Not only AI, we're talking about sense making. I think there will be lots of applications that will start to make sense finally in our ecosystem.
I agree with that. And with that, let's kick off.
Let's kick off.
All right, everyone watching, please, the classic repost on X, like the YouTube video, and do whatever you can, send your friends, your family, whatever you can to amplify the message. All right. I'm sharing my screen. Can we? Okay, awesome. So this is March 2025, our ecosystem recap update. This time it's during Brazilian Carnival, which means that most Brazilians are offline. So you'll probably notice a lack of the the regular presenters here, because they're all out in some random outfit, drinking on the streets right now, as they should. So we'll start with the marketing highlights. Welcome, Cynthia.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Cynthia.
Hello, happy Monday and happy March and happy Carnival.
Thank you. How are you doing?
Doing good. Can't believe we are already starting March, so time flies. But I'm happy to be here once again to walk you through some highlights from the marketing unit from our past month. You see here our traditional colorful puzzle on the screen, so a lot of things going on. So yeah, let's dive in. First of all, we have the Ethereum Denver series of events and side events that have stolen the show for this last week, and we had some of our contributors there on the ground. We had Bruno, Shiane, Joao, Karsten, Brandon, that might be now traveling, jet lag, fighting a huge time zone difference, and I hope you seen some sneak peeks from what they shared from the events from there if you follow them on X. In terms of our events, we hosted the 4th edition of Back to the Future event. And for those who don't know, Back to the Future actually started in Denver last year and has made its way around the world. The 2nd edition was in Brussels, the 3rd edition in Bangkok. And I know we had some attendees that have witnessed them all. So by now they should have a 4 unique collection of T-shirts. And you see on the right side, we see the art of this latest swag of the T-shirts that have been distributed now in Denver. So it's been a great ride. A shout out to our partners at Expresso that have been co-hosting this with us. We made a tradition so far with this event, Back to the Future. Let's see if we'll have any Back to the Future 5 in the future. And speaking of events, our contributor, Zach, has also hosted a hacker house with a dedicated date for Cartesi. And apart from workshops and demos, people also could build with Cartesi, but not a dApp, because we know they can build a dApp, but a penguin. So you have their Lego penguin in case you were wondering what was that. So lots of building and lots of penguins in Denver. And moving forward, February also marked the month in which we won the AVS Showdown contest on Jog Race. So this was organized by the Rollup and EigenLayer, and we are so proud to achieve this victory thanks to our community and to everyone who voted. A big thank you to everyone who did that. And I know you guys might as well voted as well, Felipe, Eric, and everyone present here. I know I stressed everyone to vote. So as promised, also our CTSI rewards have been already distributed to all voters, and we are waiting news from the Rollup regarding the Eigen rewards, that they should come up soon as well. And we might have also some surprises ahead from the Rollup organized for the winner. So let's keep an eye out. And I think that was fun. And we're looking forward to next competition. And then we have there in the little image none other than Felipe. So it's a treat for our Portuguese-speaking community, especially from the community members in Brazil. So there is a new podcast that have dropped with Felipe, hosted by Mauricio Magaldi from Black Drops. And you can listen it live on, there is available on YouTube, on Spotify, to learn more about Felipe's beginnings with Cartesi, the reasoning behind some of the tech fundamentals of Cartesi, some simple tech explainers that I enjoyed, and I think the audience will enjoy as well if they speak Portuguese, or at least if they understand this bater papo, you say? Okay, I'm getting better. My Portuguese is getting better because we have this meeting with the Sense agency every Thursday, and sometimes they switch back and forth, and I get a lot of coaching in Portuguese language lately.
Well, I met Cynthia in person once, and her Portuguese was almost better than mine. It felt like it was 2 months away from being better than mine.
No. That's not allowed to make fun of me live in the ecosystem updates call. So no, but I understand from Portugal. Whoever knows what I'm talking here. So, okay, last but not least, I want to invite everyone to check our Revamp Rollup Lab page. So this is the effort of several contributors, but here I am to spread the word about it. So please visit it on its new domain, that it's rollup.cartesi.io, and to learn more about the two main partnerships that are highlighted there. Each one with its integration and with a suite of flagship dApps, to say so. So take a look, learn more about Espresso, EigenLayer, and dive into the integration itself and then the project that they are already leveraging it. And pretty much, I think that should be it from now. There are other initiatives in the pipeline, and let me take advantage of this moment live to encourage everyone to also keep an eye on our public events calendar. I don't know if everyone knows, but we have a link. I'll share it here in the chat, and maybe we can post it somewhere on the screen. So if you add this to your calendar, you can embed it and see our public events calendar, because today also we are kicking off a series of X spaces with the Web3 Global Media. So we'll have a space every day on different topics to familiarize the audience with Cartesi advantages in consumer dApps, in AI, in DeFi, in security, and in gaming. So join us at 3:30 p.m. UTC every day this week to listen from our contributors. And we'll also have the podcast this week and IMAI with the Chinese community. So lots of events now, even if Denver events have finished. So tune in. And to finish, let's all please use our Content Hub channel on Discord for any nice tweets, any nice write-ups, any articles, because like this, we get to see them all and we can contribute with more likes, with more retweets, with more love and more engagement. And yeah, I guess this should be it. Keep yapping, everyone. I will finish it like this with keep yapping about Cartesi, please.
You know, this is my favorite mosaic every month, the marketing highlights mosaic. I think it's beautiful. I'll print them all and have a wall full of, framed marketing highlights.
We should do a yearly board, a huge one.
Yeah, that would be so nice. You know, I have a couple comments. Oh, go for it, CJ.
No, go ahead. Like sometimes I'm worried it's a bit too much. I'm like, it's occupying all your screen. It's a colorful puzzle of things are related, but our marketing presentation has to be a bit different than the typical slides of all the other contributors, right?
Of course, and I'm sure the viewers love it. I just have a couple comments. First of all, I'm very happy that we reached a point in which it's harder to build a Lego penguin than a Cartesi application. That is a big achievement for Cartesi. And I just want to give kudos to Cynthia for being a powerhouse in the AVS showdown competition. She was even picking fights with other projects and starting wars on X. It was beautiful to watch. So a big part of this win is because of her. It's nice to have
Thank you so much. But actually, it's not so true. So I need to extend another shout out here because I had some helpers. I had Nida collaborating and being there like with us. I had Zach. I had Helen helping. I had Brendan as well. So a lot of contributors. They were keeping an eye out and being following in real life and being on top of it. So encouraging everyone to vote, and also to our Telegram community as well, on Reddit, our ambassadors, everyone has been chipping in with votes, and the result is this, that we won together. So very happy about this, and we can wait to see what Rollup has in store for the winners going forward. I will keep you posted. So
amazing.
thank you so much.
I'm very happy to know that it's more complicated to build a penguin with Lego than build on Cartesi now. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Congratulations to everyone who made it possible, to you guys. So yeah, we reached this stage. Let's see what's next. Thank you so much, and see you all next week. I'm gonna leave the stage to someone else. Bye
bye, Cynthia. All right. So it's a cool puzzle, and Eric.
Yeah.
Sometimes
what we have next.
We have sometimes lose sight what everything that goes on in a single month. So it's a lot. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, but she made a good job on the mosaic, showing everything at once.
Every month. So what's coming up? We have grantee updates, then ecosystem recap, and then Cortec, the usual script that I'm sure most of us are used to right now. So let's get to it, right? So what's cooking on the app side? Raw builds, no curation, no filters. And we start with Rives. The usual suspects. Hey Max, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, so from our side, for anyone new or who hasn't heard about Rives, Rives is, an on-chain fantasy console, a place where you can create, collect, and play small apps and games. Yeah, and you can, anyone can build these cartridges really easily. We're using Cartesi obviously in the background. You can think of every cartridge like a tiny Cartesi app almost of sorts. The cool thing is these little apps, run fully verifiably, obviously, since we're using Cartesi. So every interaction that you make is verifiable. And so you can sort of enshrine all your interactions, all your creations on the blockchain. So we see this as a kind of a new computing medium as well, or a creative computing medium of sorts. Yeah. So that's a little bit about Rives. On the update side, currently we're doing a lot of stuff more in the back end. So there's not too many user-facing features that I can talk about today, but we're mainly working towards updating Rives to Node v2, so to Rollups v2. The main benefits here is we want to stay up to date with the latest Cartesi tech, and essentially offer a smoother experience for users, less overhead on our side, and no need to maintain necessarily separate versions or additional components, right? So essentially having something that runs and that is like future proof. So yeah, that's the main update from our side. Nothing crazy, I guess, from user perspective, but I think this is cool for from a technical perspective, it's pretty cool.
Also, Max, from an adoption and business perspective, I'm wondering how AI is impacting Rives, right? Because at the beginning, when we started this project, you were expecting the creators to be software developers with software skills, right? And I think that things are changing with how easy it is nowadays to create software and even games using things like Grok. How do you see it?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think essentially everyone is can become a software creator now, right? Using tools like Cursor. I mean, I built one of the cartridges. I think we showed it in a previous call using Cursor in November, and it's only getting better and better every month. I think Rives has advantages because the docs are pretty clear. It's a constrained environment, and obviously we're using Cartesi, so you can build your apps in any language. So the AI can actually tap into, or is trained on on a ton of applications. I think this is the case for not just Rives but Cartesi apps in general. Like you can essentially leverage the AI to build using this massive catalog of content that exists, right?
That's a very nice insight, man. I hadn't thought about that. The fact that even AI is more, in a sense, it's better for Cartesi, right?
Exactly.
It knows more about Web 2 than Web 3.
100%. Yeah. So you can build crazy stuff. And I think we, over the mid to longer term, the idea is like, anyone will be able to create cartridges, maybe even within the interface itself, like prompting, or, if you want to mod something, you can just click a button and describe it. I mean, we still want to be open to people who want to go into the code, of course. I think there's different audiences and people that really want to have full control over, writing the code themselves. But there's also a large category of people that just want to create cool little apps. I think we see, and I don't know if everyone agrees, but you guys are both, I think, software engineers originally. So, seeing like code as like the ultimate form of content, and, like the most expressive and creative form of content as well. So, creating this creative computational medium where everyone can create the coolest content, basically, and express themselves in new ways.
And the distribution aspect of this is also a bit underrated. I feel like if I created a game to play against my friends, to distribute that, to have it up and running on a web interface, it took a lot of work beforehand, right? Now, now you can just build a cartridge, upload it to Rives, and send Rives to your friend. They'll join on Rives and they can play your game without paying any fee, without paying. And you pay the base transaction fee, which is
on a weekend you can get
expensive.
together with your friends and come up with 1 or 2 games and have a tournament in 2 days and go to the next thing, right? You can have very, very small cycles where people can just create, entertain themselves, compete, and then go to the next thing.
Even cartridges as a gift, right? If you want to celebrate your loved one, you can create a game, say, of your love story, and just give them as a Valentine's gift.
That's a good idea.
Have to play it once,
100%. Yeah, you guys, those are some great ideas. I mean, the whole point is we're just, we're reducing, I mean, the AI stuff is one, and then indeed, like, you can just build the game, drag and drop it on Rives, and then it's hosted for you, but you get all the benefits of, you get verifiability, people generate the tapes, which create this kind of historical interaction log or proof, and you don't have to think about any of that, which is cool. Yeah, and you
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, that's it from my side.
There is progress that relies on you and progress that doesn't rely on you. The world's evolving on your behalf, helping you.
True.
Very good.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Enjoy Carnival. See you.
I'm not. Yeah, you enjoy. I'm not there.
See you. Bye-bye.
See you.
All right. Next up, we have another one for the artists. Drawing Canvas.
Hey guys.
Hey Dimitar.
How are you doing?
Doing great. How about you?
Great as well. Exciting times. So let me quickly share the progress on the Drawing Canvas application. The application is already deployed on Sepolia testnet, currently for a closed group of testers. So we are actively testing the application and providing really valuable feedback to the Cartesi development team, because we are one of the pioneering teams that are actually using the rollups and Node version 2. So this is something that is not released yet, but we are already using this version for our application and helping the development team to polish all the imperfections. And so far, everything is going really well. The application will be released for public testing probably in the coming week or two. Can't say exactly. It really depends on the bug fixes and the progress that we make. But in general, once we're done with the testing, the next milestone will be to set up our first campaign, which will introduce the application to a wider audience, so we can gather even more feedback and valuable insights from the people using the application. And yeah, obviously the bigger plan is to have the application on mainnet, but this is far in the future. It's not in the coming month or two. First, we need to have successful running campaign, and then we can think about the exact next steps. In general, yeah, a lot of things are happening. We're developing also a lot of cool features that will be introduced with this new version. Also revised user interface, which will be a lot nicer. And the other significant change will be the user experience with this latest version of the application. The performance of the application is a lot better compared to the existing one, which is something that we are really proud of, and we'll be excited to share once everything is unleashed to the audience.
Those are all great news.
Yeah, thank you. And we're really happy, by the way, with how the rollups version 2 is performing. This next version of the rollups and Node v2 will be a game changer, in my opinion, especially in the combination with Espresso and yeah, all the other integrations that are on the pipeline. We also have the EigenLayer, which is exciting thing. We are also considering in the near future to have AI integrated in the drawing canvas, something that some other teams from the ecosystem already did with their applications. But we are excited, and we have some interesting ideas how we can also benefit of the AI inside the drawing canvas. But first, we need to deliver what we already have on the pipeline.
That's awesome to hear. I feel like there's going to be a date in which we'll have more applications in general of AI than without AI, even if it is to like guide the users through the application and so on.
That's
I'm so excited, man, to exercise my drawing skills. Do you have a demo there? Can you show us something?
Not this time, because we're still fine-tuning the latest pieces of the UI. But in the meantime, before the next update, the next community update, we can share some stuff on our X community channel. Also, we can use the Cartesi channels to just to spread the news. And yeah, in general, people should stay engaged with what's coming with the application, and I'm sure that everything will be really interesting.
So Dimitra, is great news. I think you're coming with lots of positive things. First, drawing canvas is a fun, entertaining application itself. We can't wait to put our hands on it, try it out, right? But it's also a great opportunity to, as you said, to test and help the core team to refine and polish the remaining imperfections in the new versions of the software, which is a great benefit to the core team. And also, you are testing the waters with the integration on Espresso and making sure that future developers, future builders are going to have a much easier path to develop their applications on Cartesi and Espresso. So congratulations.
Yeah, having pioneers is so important, right? Those that face the challenges and the murky waters until everything clears up, and they help us clear up everything. So that's super nice.
Absolutely.
And it's you made me very happy, Dimitra, saying that the rollups v2 is going to be a game changer. I'm so excited to see the performance gains and the usability gains and the stability gains as well on this release.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, this is something that will be coming in the next weeks or months. I'm not sure when exactly the official version will be released. I mean, the Cartesi Note V2 and all the related tools. But from what we already use on our application, I can say that it's complete game changer compared to what we used to have in the previous version.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the update. Keep us posted.
Sure.
Thank you, Dimitri.
Thank you.
Guys, don't forget to follow them on X and keep up with the very exciting things that are coming. You know, Eric, I feel like this app can really go viral. I had so much fun with the first alpha that came out a while ago, and I was drawing, and I'm not a very good artist, but I still managed to have such a blast. I remember I don't want to extend myself too much because I talk too much, but there was someone started a pizza drawing contest in which there was a blank pizza and everyone was adding ingredients to the pizza, and I just had so much fun.
And sometimes you're trying to come up to draw a cat, and then you end up drawing a croissant, right? But now we also have the other app that the guys did on the experiment week. That's you can draw something and it will tell you if it's a croissant or a cat.
Yeah, so in the end, they decide for you.
Right? Of the drawing canvas.
You know, maybe the future can see a drawing canvas and Scribble integration.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. You guys can talk about it.
Thank you.
All right. See you.
Bye. Bye.
See you, man. Next up, we have Locali Network. Montes.
How you doing, everyone?
Hello.
Thank you for having me again. Just to give you another backstory on what Local is, we are building a series of localized data networks for economic development and some smart city DePIN infrastructure as well. As a part of that initiative, we're building a Web3 lending platform that offers dynamically adjusting smart contract loans with real-time data transparency coming from off-chain data, offering loans to real-world borrowers. And so a bit of some updates on our end. They've mostly been on the business development side and some expansion of products that we'll be offering at launch. Those include securing a partnership for the initial loan pools that will be funding our local deal flow in our pilot city, which is the city of Kansas City here in America. Some of those partnerships also include expansion to different data types rather than just banking data. We're beginning to target vehicle, weather, and energy usage data through our partners over at Demo, who are providing the infrastructure to collect and analyze that data before being handled through the Cartesi Coprocessor, which we are also making the transition to from previous versions of our lending app. Additionally, we did participate in the Cartesi EigenLayer hackathon, which sort of spurred this push towards more vehicle data, more weather and energy data types to integrate into our pilot program, which we are planning to launch sometime in and around June or this summer. And what that does is not only allow us to have that sort of those data types to be able to offer to our consumers, but also enhances our lending products significantly to be able to extend into other mediums. And so what this pilot program will ideally do is create a proof of concept to be prove the viability of the system infrastructure using Cartesi and some Arbitrum Orbit chain infrastructures to be able to expand to multiple different cities and replicate this economic development initiative. And so we've been grateful to be able to learn and grow as the Cartesi ecosystem grows. And it's been sort of fun experimenting with some of the new tools popping up. So
Thanks for the
not
update,
much
man.
on the client end, but
Thanks for the update.
absolutely.
Very interesting. So what are the plans for the early adoption? If you can explain a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the idea for the localized, and we're sort of branding it as city chain, the localized data networks. The launch would look like offering incentives to citizens and local stakeholders to provide their data to our data network, which would exist in part on the within Cartesi's contracts, offering incentives for local stakeholders to provide their data through issuance of a stable coin. This stable coin would be regionally based, so only able to be spent within the city of Kansas City, just sort of a mechanism to extend purchasing power, keep money local, shop with local small businesses. And so that's one area of economic development that we've been focused on for the past 10 years through our research. And so in addition to that, another incentive to offer though that another incentive for citizens and local stakeholders to offer that data would be financial products. And so that includes small business loans to the businesses that exist within that network. And that's sort of where this initiative steps in. If we're offering real world assets to DeFi investors, while also apart from that sort of grassroots local deal flow, for offering that to DeFi investors, we're also offering a source of liquidity for historically disadvantaged areas. Then we believe we're creating a system that bridges that gap between the wider Web3 industry and the real world institutions and real world businesses that could use that liquidity the most. And that's sort of where the idea was brought together. So the rollout plan, the strategic rollout plan sort of focuses on a grassroots approach to onboarding users, onboarding businesses into Web3 with locale and our city change being the catalyst for that. I'm hoping that answered your question. I apologize.
No, it makes sense. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
Do you have any possible business partners in mind to kick it off?
Absolutely, yeah. And so we've been working with some local foundations, Kaufman being one. We've been working with the Department of Economic Development here within our state. But on the Web3 end, we're working with Demo to secure those contracts and to secure that sort of data pipeline into Cartesi. And then for the borrowing lending side, there are a couple of Web3 real world asset lenders or institutional lenders that we've been leaning on for the infrastructure to onboard Web3 users into our liquidity pools, our initial loan pools. So that's sort of what our focus is. Again, we're targeting a June launch for the pilot program, but things are developing in real time on this side. So hoping to get those secured in a adequate amount of time.
Sounds great. Yeah, I'm excited to see how it progresses and see you keep us posted, keep the ecosystem posted. It's going to be great to see it unfolding.
Absolutely, yeah. We've been having an amazing time working with the tech and sort of getting involved with the community. So definitely appreciate the opportunity to be here and experiment alongside the team.
Well, I think I said it last time, but if we are to have a financial layer on the blockchain, we need decent loans and we need real world integration. So I'm excited to see this becoming a reality.
Absolutely. And follow us on Twitter. Check out our website for more information. We'd love to get more feedback as we develop. And appreciate you all having me.
Awesome. You look very futuristic with that background, by the way. It looks very,
very
nice.
Very nice.
It feels inspiring.
A little bit.
All right.
Take
care,
man. All right, thank you.
All right, next up we have ecosystem updates. And the little subtitle, support in Spark. And I'm a fan of the smiley face. The smiley face is always a bit controversial, but I love it.
Yeah, it is. It is contentious. You never know what it means exactly.
Yeah, sometimes it's ironic, sometimes it's
Yeah.
a real smile. I try to look at the glass half full. And also for me, I always interpreted it as a real smile. All right, let's go. The updates from developer Advocacy. Hello,
Hey
Shaheen.
guys,
How's it going?
how are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Hello, hello.
What
Doing
do you
good,
have
man.
for
How?
us today?
Sorry, come
What
again.
what do you have for the ecosystem today?
Oh yeah, we have been cooking a lot of things, and here we have a few highlights, but I'll be going through each of them, and let's see what we have. So for first of all, for all of those who don't know about developer advocacy, like we are the unit who empowers developers with resources, mentorship, and community. We are pretty active on Discord. Like you can just reach out to us at the rate developer advocacy unit, and we'll probably get in contact with you as soon as possible. So last month, there have been a lot of things. It was like a jam-packed month. First of all, like in events, we had Experiment Week, and we were very much involved in supporting and also like building on top of the infrastructure. So we had released CLI for it. We had released templates, guides. There were like all kinds of tutorials that you had to get started with this coprocessor infrastructure. And
Yeah. You know,
yeah,
Shaheen himself was not only supporting people on the experiment week, but he also built one of the coolest submissions, which was Scribble. I recommend people checking it out on the dev recap. It's like a drawing plus AI judge application. Such a cool vibe. Sorry to interrupt your presentation, Shaheen. I just, as you mentioned, helping people out during the experiment week, I just had to mention that not only you helped everyone out and not only you guys prepared all the documentation and tutorials, but you also created some of the coolest applications out there.
Yeah, I also want to add, since you interrupted Shaheen, I'll interrupt a bit more, if you allow me. We're just talking to Dimitra about the drawing canvas, and I think there are some cool similarities between both. On both platforms, you can draw things, and but in one you have an AI judge your drawing, the other one you have human beings judging your drawing. Basically, that's the difference, right?
You know, if Rives, let's keep interrupting Shaheen. With Rives drawing canvas, Scribble, it feels like maybe Cartesi unexpectedly will become the home of the future of art. You know, imagine that.
oh man, I mean, I can start Scribble slides right now, but I'll just hold myself. But thank you guys. Like it was an amazing experience, like building the application and like testing the whole infrastructure. And it's so easy, like to just port existing pre-trained models and just build your application around it. The time that you take to ship an application becomes so less. It's just amazing to experience that. So
You
yeah,
know,
continue.
it's suspicious to hear this from the DevRel man, but we had confirmation from other parties, so it's authentic. It's easy to develop on Cartesi.
It's official now.
It's official.
Yeah, just hear the word out there on every socials. It's official.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I hope no interruptions now, but feel free. So after experiment week, yeah, we are taking a lot of feedback. We got a lot of feedback, like we did a lot of improvements in the CLI during the week and after the week as well. We have been shipping more updates, and now it's time to kind of like unify this journey of development with our existing docs, with our existing tooling. So how it maps out with our existing CLI, let's say, how it maps out in our existing rollups, docs structure, all of things we have been planning after the experiment week. And on event side, apart from experiment week, right after that, we had Eat Denver. João is out there. He was out there, like, I think it's over now, Eat Denver. So he was out there talking with people, connecting with people, onboarding them. There were presentations in the Hacker House, and there were some content drops by our amazing Joao. And that was something about ETH Denver. On the doc side, this is like the major chunk that we have been focusing after this experiment week. And we want to create these guides now that we have different integrations. We have integration with EigenLayer, we have integration with Espresso. So we want to create these standalone guides that anybody could use. Like if you just pick this stack, okay, I want to build on Cartesi and Espresso, just follow this guide and you'll be able to, right from creating a template to shipping your application on shipping your node, it'll be a full end-to-end guide. So we have shipped these guides currently in experimental mode in our Mugen docs. And if anybody is curious to check out the alphas out there, please go ahead and take a look at these steps, and you'll be able to pretty much deploy your application using Espresso. And then with that, we are also gearing up for Node V2. There's a lot of things, some cool changes that happened since Node 1. And we have been incorporating those changes inside our docs. So with docs V2, you'll be seeing all the updates of Node V2. Still, it's under development. We are pushing. We have just last few things to add to the docs. After that, we'll be releasing Node V2 docs as well. So everybody will be able to leverage all the cool features of Node. We have some interesting things, like I recently tested the multi-applications inside the Node, and it was like, wow, what's happening? It was so amazing to test these things out. And yeah, apart from all this support and resources,
that sounds all positive.
Yeah, it is a lot of things. And even on the convenience side, how we are parallelly shipping the convenience tooling of Nonodo, things like executing vouchers in Nonodo, all these things are just make your experience a whole lot better. Yeah. And on the content side, we have been doing podcasts. If you guys are not familiar with I Build Therefore I Am, this is the series 3, which is going on right now, which is called Brain to Board. And Jean has been hosting this amazing series where people join, explain their applications, their protocols on a whiteboard kind of a theme. And it's a very interesting, if you are a visual learner, this is the show, this is the series for you. And this time we had a Bugbuster. So we were blessed by the presence of Claudio and Guilherme, and they explained the whole thing from scratch, how the Bugbuster idea came into light and how they built it, how it's useful, all those things. And it goes like pretty much in depth how Bugbuster actually works behind the scenes. So that's a pretty cool podcast you can tune into, like it's live out there on Cartesi YouTube. Also, like this week, we're going to have, like this Wednesday, we're going to have another episode, which is going to be with Nader from EigenLayer. And I'm pretty excited for that as well. We're going to see some cool things, some cool insights from Nader about EigenLayer. So do not forget to tune into that episode as well. Yeah, so this is... Go ahead, Felipe. Please interrupt.
No, I was gonna say that I've been loving the podcast and this new series. It's super cool as well, Brain to Board, and it's super nice to watch Bugbuster there. It's one of my favorite Cartesi projects, and I mean, I'm also excited about the next one of Nader. And I just wanted to say that, man, it's clear from this slide how much effort DevEd has been putting in to so many things going on, and I think it's a sign of the healthy and promising future and the promising present that we have at Cartesi. It's a lot of work, but it's worth it, and so just kudos.
And also testament for the great work that you guys have been doing throughout all the last months, last year.
Yeah.
Thank you so
and
much.
I love to see the excitement about Node V2 as well, man. You're not the first one to echo this year. It's nice.
Yep. Yeah, so all of this, why is this important, and the bigger picture, I think there are multiple things now coming to reality, all these integrations. and it's very important for us to give feedback how they are working, do some quality assurance around them, test the Node v2, all the features around it, so that the next phase, the next wave of developers who are using Node v2 have a better experience, have a smoother experience. And also design these mental models, how all these stacks look together. Right now, it's a pretty simple stack that we have, rollups. You go ahead, you just have one path. But how does all these together, how you can pick among these stacks, all these kind of things we have been brainstorming inside DevAd. So this is going to be very interesting for people who are looking for new ways to build on top of Cartesi, new protocols to plug in. So excited times ahead, and we are very much ready for that. That's it from my side.
Awesome.
That's a great way to wrap it up. Thank you.
Yeah. Sorry for the interruptions.
No more interruptions from now on.
No worries. Love the interruptions.
See you, man. Wow.
And yeah, man, I think it's a nice podcast. Very exciting to see these guys moving it forward. I love the name of the podcast. It sounds a bit Cartesian, but I think it's very appropriate.
Yeah.
I built it where I am. So whoever is here should come and watch the next episode with Nader from EigenLayer.
Yes, and watch the past one as well. Why not, right? The past ones. All right, next up, we have Ufi, Guto, audience favorite as well here. Hello, man. How are you doing?
Hello, guys. I'm fine. How about you? I'm
Pretty
trying
good.
to run away from the carnival. So I'm in the middle of nothing right now. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here again. So my quick update is to share with you that we, from the project of the National Observatory of Blockchain, we have a new Cartesi Compute API that's now available to be deployed on Hyperledger Bezel network as one of the deliverables of our project. So we have already a way to run Cartesi on the top of Bezel network. So as I said before, we have this huge project here in Brazil that offer to the community, to the academic community, blockchain network with several machines for prototypes and development and things like that. And now the Cartesi is the only layer 2 working on the top of that, right? So all the community can now try, test, run, play, and so on with Cartesi. So that's the deliverable that we have for the project, and we are offering the community the option to try and send us feedbacks. I just posted here in the chat two things. As you can see here, there is the GitHub repository. So everyone is more than welcome to download, try to run any Cartesi project on the top of a Bezel network. And there is also, to help everyone, there is a demo video. And in the repository, there is also a short tutorial with a README explaining how to use it. But the demo also is possible to see everything you're working. So that's the thing that we believe could help anyone to start playing with the API that we are developing here. Great. So any feedback is more than welcome here.
Great. It's more like a curiosity about the choice of Hyperledger Bezel and the network, how it will run in production. Is it going to be a private network? Is it going to be a public? What is the setup that you guys have in mind, or this bigger project has in mind?
Yeah, the big project right now is running in a private mode, but the idea is to be open for the community. So they are still growing the number of machines and the access and so on. And I think for the RNP, which is the leader of this project, the idea is to offer the community the possibility of have several projects and real dApps running on the top of that. The option for the Bezel, I'm not sure about that. This is something that came from the call of the project. I have no decision on that. They have two networks, the Hyperledger, Bezel, and the there is another one, but yeah. But this is what most of the projects are using, the Bezel right now. Yeah.
Right, but is there an expectation that the project in its final state will run on the public Ethereum network, or that would be
yeah.
a public blockchain?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be public in the future. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I think the idea is to be public, so anyone could use it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what are the next for this project? We are still testing many machine learning algorithms on that. We already have 2 Cartesi machines running machine learning. This is something that we're gonna post soon, 2 tutorials on how to use machine learning with Cartesi machines, and apps that we are working to use those machine learnings to take advantage of these algorithms, and also the possibility of removing data from the learned of the algorithms, right? Which is also part of the project. So soon we're gonna show 2 other tutorials how to use those 2 machine learning algorithms. So we're gonna post also in the Discord and ask everyone to send us feedback.
Sounds great. Good news. Good to know it's progressing.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Are you enjoying Carnival, Guto?
Not really. So I'm in the middle of nothing here right now. So I went to the countryside. I like it, but this year we decided not to stay in town for to rest a little bit.
It is my opinion that going to the countryside is enjoying Carnival, and that's also
that's
what
right.
I'm doing here. So
that's true.
All right. Good seeing you, man.
Okay, guys.
Enjoy.
So
Good to see
thank you. Bye.
Enjoy the mountains. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. Let's
What's
move on,
next?
Eric.
Huh?
Next is a little bit about the experiment week.
Great.
Just a quick recap on the winners. We're not bringing anyone. We'll just talk about it ourselves. Experiment week is my favorite thing in Cartesi, if I have to be honest. Every single edition, I always promise myself that I will not be surprised, and I always get totally blown away by the quality of the projects and by the ideas, and it's always so much fun. So much fun. And this time it was not different. This was the 3rd edition. And as most of you know, this time we didn't do it alone. We brought a partner and a friend. EigenLayer came to play this one out with us. It was an experiment week of Cartesi coprocessors, which are using EigenLayer as well, and they came to judge, and they watched the presentations, and they were quite impressed, and they added to the prize pool, and it was a lot of fun. Eric, what did you think of it?
I have to second you that the Experiment Week is also my favorite event in Cartesi, and it only gets better, right? At each iteration, it gets better. And we were last year thinking about extending it to partners. It happened for the first time, and it did work super well, even on new technology, right? That's still under construction, but is mature enough for people to try it out, prototype, and have working stuff in a few days, which is quite impressive. So kudos to everyone that was involved, not only in the organization of the event, but also developing the infrastructure, the ZP team, dev ad team, everybody involved there. I think it was a great achievement and great coordination.
Yeah, it feels like the experiment week is a testament to everything that we tell people that we can do, right? It's a testament to the integration, it's a testament to the dev journey, it's a testament to the quality of the Cartesi machine, it's a testament to the ability to build applications that are not possible in Ethereum without using Cartesi, right? So we bring all these projects to Ethereum, and that's so beautiful to watch. Plus, it's a lot of fun.
And also more, I think, when the core developers stop for a week to create stuff during the experiment week, that's fun. There's a lot of creativity and a lot of renewed enthusiasm, because people finally realize they are looking at what they are building from a different angle. Now from the angle of the user, from the angle of the builder, and then they can get extra excited to see how great it is to build on their own software, right? With all these crazy new ideas.
Yeah, that's for sure. So let's do a quick run on the winners. There was so many cool projects. Unfortunately, we could only give 3 prizes. I included there the links of the demo day and the blog recap. You can follow and watch every presentation. I guarantee you're going to get blown away by more than 3 projects. But we had 2 projects sharing the first prize. So ThinkChain, so verifiable AI on the blockchain. They had a paper token model. You could choose what LLM you would run. You could run DeepSeek. You could run small. You could run a lot of different models. There's a chat that you go there and run on the browser. You type your query in, your prompt, and it answers you. It's beautiful. It won first prize. It's I was happy to see people get excited about that, because it's really something that cannot be done on any other execution environment but Cartesi.
Yeah, I was extremely excited. Especially there was all the buzz, all the hype around DeepSeek and how it's destroyed the stock market for the American stock market on AI for a few days, and then it was so nice that people were able to port the simpler port and run the simpler models of DeepSeek on the Cartesi coprocessor. So I was super excited about this.
That's for sure, yes. Beautiful. I recommend people taking a look. The GitHub is there. Next up, we had also first place. We have Cartesi Lido Oracle, which was such an unexpected use case to me, because I didn't know about it. So it was William, with a regular on the Cartesi hackathons. He's not a grantee, but apparently he's a fan of the project, because he always appears to blow us away. He's a great hacker, and he built this Lido Oracle using Cartesi. So Lido is a staking platform for Ethereum. It has, I think, $22 billion of TVL or something like that. And turns out that they need an oracle to know the Beacon chain state. I didn't know that. But for Lido to work, they need this information about the Ethereum Beacon chain. And at the moment, what they do is that they have a multi-sig with some trusted names, and they sign to account for these oracles correct information of the Beacon chain. And what William did was put that on the Cartesi. So if you run that, and if you have Dave online, then you can bring the Beacon chain information to Lido without having to trust anyone. You can verify yourself, and you can enforce the correct oracle state yourself. This is a game changer. It's beautiful. Of course, it was just an experiment. It's not production ready at all, but it's a beautiful seed to show show how Cartesi can help all other projects as well with this kind of utilities,
Yeah, and I guess the big thing here is how easy it is to build something like this in such as a short period of time. Right? That's the impressive piece here. is, as Felipe said, far from production state, but is a working prototype.
Yeah, and we all agree that in the future, $22 billion cannot be protected by a multi-sig, right? Especially after what happened to Bybit. So incredible. And third place, Danilo Tuller, one of a winner on all our hackathons as well, an ETH Global finalist multiple times. He built this Pokemon.fun, a simulator, so much fun to play with. I was playing with it. I rose in ranking a lot. There's a ELO rating, so you create your Pokemon team, you challenge people to battle you, and you have a sort of a chess ELO system. And it's so much fun. I had so much fun playing that. So yeah, super cool.
It was kind of hard to come with these three winners, because there were a few other very, very, very great applications through the experiment week.
For sure, many almost made it. We had this cooperative board game using AI as well. Looked like a very fun game. We had photo selling things. We had drawing with AI judges. Yeah, so many cool projects. I really recommend, guys, if you click the link, watch the demo day, you're gonna get blown away, and you're gonna come out of it with so many cool ideas for what to build.
Escape from Tikal.
Escape from Tikal. Yes, that's such a cool board game. One of the ones I like a lot as well. And we should maybe have some Twitter Spaces and highlight all those projects once again in our socials, because truly impressive. Sometimes it's sad that we have so much impressive things at once that it's hard to talk about all of them. But it feels like every single project there could draw attention and could Cartesi people.
Yeah, and I have to imagine that some of these projects will keep going, and if they don't become products themselves, they will inspire products. They will inspire new builders. I think there is a lot of things that unfold from here.
I hope so too. And all the code is open source, so it doesn't even have to be the original team that takes it forward. Any team can productize the experiment.
Yeah, I'm always looking at the next experiment week and what great things we can build next time with our partners. So I think this fantastic experiment has been working super well, and there is no reason for us to stop doing it.
Yeah, sometimes I wish you could have every week be experiment week, but we also have to work on the core protocol, so unfortunately cannot do that. Talking about that, let's go to the core tech updates, the nerdy stuff.
Let's bring Milton.
Hello, guys.
Hello,
Can you
Milton.
hear me well?
Yes.
Hi.
Also enjoying Carnival in the countryside. Yeah.
The question is, where are you escaping from Carnival?
Oh, in the hills as well.
Yeah, on the hills.
Nice. I think Milton's nearby, a little bit higher than me, but nearby.
So, folks, I'd like to start with what you were just talking about. It was the last part here of the slide, but I think it's appropriate to start with it. So, talking about what's buzzing in the core development, Coprocessor has been already extensively talked about. Had this incredible experiment week going on with all these cool applications. In particular, I was blown away by the Lido Oracle one. I think it's an extremely interesting use case in general for the coprocessor. I think it makes a lot of sense for you to be able to do kind of analysis and processing that you would never be able to do on chain, on the base layer, on layer one, and have that feed into the smart contracts themselves that are running on the base layer. So in case of Lido, I think they need to know the current TVL in Lido validators, and they can't do that on L1 itself. So they need something external But with Cartesi and with Cartesi on Coprocessor on top of EigenLayer, you can have cryptoeconomic immediate security of that information. And later on, you could be able to slash it using fraud proofs, which we also are investing in. So I'm very happy about how that unfolded. The coprocessor team is currently working on a few things. One of them is I believe related to what Lido uses to read information from the beacon chain. It's supporting access to Ethereum state in general. So ETH call things, you'll be able to do that inside the coprocessor application. Do a call for the base layer and having that be ultimately provable and slashable. Also working to have more operators involved in the coprocessor network. And one interesting development is active work on integrating the coprocessor functionality into the standard Cartesi CLI. Currently, DevEd does this great job of developing coprocessor specific CLI, which was very helpful for everybody on the experiment week. But we do want to unify the CLI and have like a single developer experience of whichever flavor of Cartesi you're using. So going from there, I'd like to go up to the Espresso updates. We released a couple of versions of the Espresso integration, which is both the Espresso reader that and also Node V2 itself, where the Espresso reader plugs into. We have a couple of applications using that on testnet. So we already had here a drawing canvas presenting. I'm very, very happy to hear them praise the improvements that Node V2 is bringing, and also how integrating with Espresso helps applications. I'm very pleased with that, because that was a decision we took like a year ago to invest in this modular approach, so that people can take advantage of the strengths of other projects that together with Cartesi can combine to make something bigger than the separate parts, right? And the goal in that front is to have in a couple of weeks a version that is accessible for the general audience to play around with, right? So we want to have user-friendly documentations, as Shaheen is a part of that effort, together with the Comet team, so that people can have like step-by-step tutorials, and anyone can end up spinning a Cartesi plus Espresso application. So right now, we have a number of teams that are working closer with us to get that working and to polish things. And also we want to have like better development experience, like integrating Espresso as well in the standard Cartesi CLI, so that people can test and run locally with Espresso integration inside. And also was just another note. I was happy to hear Dimitar talk about performance as well in Node V2. So one thing to highlight is that a couple of applications, including Rives, I was talking before, that they are doing this integration as well, this update to Node V2, because of that as well, in that accessing the state of the Cartesi machine via inspect calls has been enormously improved in Node V2. It was before kind of a bottleneck for certain applications, depending on the usage that they did have, and now it's right greatly improved. So I think this will be also very interesting for a number of applications to rely on. And finally, I wanted to highlight here a very interesting development that we had this month. We had an article from our research team published on ETH Research, summarizing in a more accessible way the deeply technical scientific paper that was published a couple of months ago about Dave, our cutting-edge fraud-proof system. And we were really happy to see the repercussion of that. We have many people in the space now recognizing Dave as the leading fraud-proof system out there. outpacing other interesting but fraud-proof systems like Arbitrum Bold and Optimism's fraud-proof system, especially in terms of decentralization and the ability of having anyone participate in the system with just a laptop and a few resources, right? And I like to highlight as well, I have this feeling that often when people come to Cartesi and look at it, it kind of feels like BS a bit, or too good to be true. That you can, for instance, run DeepSeek AI inside in Web3 and have that like really inherit the security guarantees of the base layer. So I think people often think that's too much, but it's not. We're not talking about running it somewhere and having like a quorum just decide by majority which is the correct result. This is not what Cartesi is doing. Cartesi is really deterministically running the whole thing, and you actually can apply the best fraud-proof system out there to it, so that you really can have a one-event security guarantee and accessible to anyone with a laptop and a few resources to put on bonds. So even against nation states, right? So this is where we're heading at, and we are very, very happy to be putting the pieces together to get there.
You know, we have one of we have one of the top research teams in the space, and it's lovely to see it starting to get more and more recognized. You know, I've been saying all over the place that we have the best execution environment and the best fraud-proof algorithm, and this is not to be underrated.
Yeah, I really like what you said, Milton, because as I was saying at the beginning, you know, when looking at articles, the article that EigenLayer published on decentralized AI recently, people are talking about how we can achieve determinism on AI, verify inference on chain. And because people are not counting yet on Cartesi, they are imagining things that are more complicated to, in terms of infrastructure, and also less decentralized, less secure, like imagining that they could have nodes running the same hardware to guarantee that the computation runs in the exact same way. And here we are talking about the possibility of running complex programs, including AI, that inherits the strong security guarantees of Ethereum with a very good fraud-proof system backing it up. Now considered the best fraud-proof system backing things up. So it's really another level of security and decentralization. So I think that this positioning is really, really important and really interesting for Cartesi from now on.
Agree completely.
Yeah, it's a nice month, huh? On the core updates. Nice month.
And much to work on in spite of Carnival. And yeah, there's a lot of work going on right now on polishing Node V2 and integrating it with the rest of the stack, as has been mentioned, so that we can bring like to general availability our Rollups V2 stack, which will be ready to integrate with the fraud-proof systems, right? So this is our aim right now.
Awesome. And if you want to keep up, they can just join our Discord and follow up all the updates there, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is it. Do you have anything else to add, Eric and Milton?
Nothing to add on my side. Just want people to come and talk to us on Discord, get in contact, bring your questions, provoke us, challenge us, doubt us, but interact with us. And it's going to be a pleasure.
We're not afraid of due diligence, right? We do everything by the book.
Yeah. If sometimes we come up with something that sounds outrageous or bold, please come to us and challenge if you have reasons to challenge. We're going to be more than happy to respond and learn together, or reevaluate things. But we are very convinced that what we have is quite unique, and things are shaping up quite well. The market's coming to a point now that it's going to require more complex computations, and Cartesi is a very good place to run these computations. So those are my last remarks.
Let me add to that, Eric. I think we always have been convinced, but now we're starting to convince the others, you know, the L2Bit and people on EigenLayer and so on. Everyone that comes to us and interacts with what we build comes out impressed. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and I think Milton touched it before when he said that sometimes what we say sounds too bold and unrealistic. So it really took a long time for people to actually understand and realize that what we're doing is actually true, that you can run Linux on the blockchain with all the decent expected security guarantees, right? And now is the moment that people are starting to realize this across the board. All right, guys, I think that's a wrap. Thanks everyone for coming. Until the next time, interact with us on Discord.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye-bye.